For years, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have insisted they were simply carving out a new path beyond royal life. But now, one unexpected move from Buckingham Palace has reignited old tensions and sparked a fresh wave of controversy. Their apparent permanent removal from the royal family's official website has left royal watchers asking whether this is merely an administrative update or a powerful message that their chapter within the monarchy has truly come to an end. So, what really happened behind the palace's decision? But why would Harry and Meghan be removed from the royal website? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. To help us create more videos and uncover the latest royal drama, please subscribe. Palace finally draws royal line. For 4 years, what seemed like an ordinary page on the royal family's official website quietly became a source of growing debate among royal supporters. Even after Prince Harry and Meghan stepped back from royal duties, their profiles continued to appear in a way that many believed still closely linked them to the working royal family. To critics, this created the impression that, despite everything that had happened, little had officially changed. During those years, the relationship between the Sussexes and the royal family appeared to deteriorate further. Their widely watched interview with Oprah, Prince Harry's best-selling memoir, and the couple's Netflix documentary all brought deeply personal family matters into the public spotlight. Each new project sparked fresh controversy and intensified calls from some royal supporters for Buckingham Palace to make a clearer distinction between working royals and those who had chosen a different path. As time passed, many loyal followers of the monarchy became increasingly puzzled by the unchanged website. They argued that while senior members of the royal family continued carrying out official duties with restraint and dedication, Harry and Meghan still seemed to enjoy a level of official recognition that no longer reflected their position. To these observers, the website symbolized an unresolved contradiction that the palace had yet to address. Then, without any formal announcement or media event, a noticeable change quietly appeared. The update attracted little attention at first, but once royal watchers discovered it, many viewed it as highly significant. Harry and Meghan were no longer presented in exactly the same way as before, suggesting that the palace had subtly revised how it officially portrayed the couple. Although it appeared to be nothing more than a website update, many commentators believed it carried a much deeper meaning. The timing was especially striking, coming as Prince Harry prepared for another visit to Britain and amid growing speculation that the Sussexes were seeking to reshape their public image. This led many to wonder whether the palace had intentionally chosen that moment to send a quiet but unmistakable message. The update quickly fueled widespread discussion about what it might reveal regarding the royal family's current thinking. Some believed it reflected a carefully considered decision supported by senior figures within the monarchy, while others saw it as a symbolic acknowledgement that circumstances had changed permanently. Whether viewed as a strategic move or simply an overdue administrative revision, the website change was widely interpreted as more than a technical update. For many royal observers, it marked the end of years of uncertainty and signaled that the palace was no longer trying to maintain the appearance that nothing had changed. In the eyes of many supporters, that single update spoke more powerfully than any official statement could have done. So, how was Charles able to stand firm against his own blood? Did he, for once, meet his son during that period? Let's delve into the details of King Charles's refusal to pick certain calls. How Charles refused manipulation. For years, the media has promoted the image of King Charles as a kind-hearted father who is simply waiting for the perfect opportunity to welcome Prince Harry back into the royal family. Many reports have suggested that one sincere conversation could erase years of conflict and restore their relationship. However, those who claim to understand the situation behind palace doors believe the truth is much more complicated. Among them is Lady Colin Campbell, who has closely followed royal affairs for many years. She believes the public has misunderstood King Charles, arguing that he is far more determined and emotionally resilient than many people think. According to her, the king has deliberately chosen not to take Prince Harry's calls because he does not want to place himself in a position where he could be emotionally pressured or influenced. Rather than making dramatic public statements, Charles has reportedly allowed silence to speak for itself, creating distance instead of fueling further conflict. Despite the ongoing tension, few doubt that Charles still loves his younger son. A father's love does not simply disappear because of family disagreements. Yet love also does not mean overlooking actions that have caused deep pain. Over the past several years, Prince Harry's public interviews, documentaries, and especially his memoir, Spare, revealed private family matters that many believed should have remained confidential. These repeated disclosures are widely seen as having deepened the divide between Harry and the rest of the royal family. The king's personal circumstances have also influenced his approach. While carrying out his royal responsibilities, Charles has been undergoing treatment for cancer, a challenge that has likely reshaped his priorities. Serious illness often leads people to value their time, protect their emotional well-being, and become more careful about whom they trust. Those close to the monarch believe this experience has reinforced his determination to avoid situations that could bring further disappointment or emotional strain. One event frequently cited as evidence of the strained relationship was Harry's visit to see his father after the king's diagnosis. Although the meeting was reportedly expected to last around 45 minutes, it is said to have ended after only about 12 minutes. Whether the shortened meeting resulted from scheduling, circumstances, or deliberate choice, many observers interpreted it as a sign that Charles was not prepared to rebuild the relationship without clear limits and genuine trust. Even so, many royal commentators believe the king has not completely closed the door on reconciliation. They suggest he still hopes that peace may one day be possible. However, any future reunion is expected to depend on rebuilding trust, demonstrating respect, and accepting responsibility rather than relying on public pressure or emotional appeals. For Charles, protecting both his personal well-being and the stability of the monarchy appears to remain the highest priority. How did William perceive Harry's distance from the palace? How has he been handling his brother's case? Let's dive into the details of William's firm boundaries and the grudge he holds. William's toughest decision yet revealed. Prince William has long been seen as someone who does not easily forget moments that deeply affect the people he loves. Those who know how he approaches family and duty often say that trust is something he values above almost everything else. Once that trust is broken, rebuilding it is never simple. Many royal watchers believe that, from William's point of view, the events of the past few years have left wounds that cannot be healed overnight. The relationship between the two brothers has faced one challenge after another. It began with growing public tension and later exploded into worldwide headlines. First came the explosive television interview with Oprah, where Prince Harry and Meghan openly discussed private family matters before millions of viewers. Then came Harry's memoir, which revealed deeply personal conversations, family disagreements, and behind-the-scenes moments that many believed should have remained private. Each new revelation added another layer to an already painful situation. For William, the issue has never been just about criticism. It is also about the impact those public disclosures had on the people closest to him. Reports and commentators have often suggested that he watched with great frustration as his wife, Catherine, Princess of Wales, became the subject of intense media attention and speculation. Seeing his family repeatedly drawn into public controversy is believed to have strengthened his resolve to keep a firm distance from his younger brother. His actions over the years have only reinforced that impression. According to numerous reports, William has shown little interest in reopening private conversations with Harry outside formal royal occasions. He is said to believe that some boundaries, once crossed, cannot simply disappear after a brief visit or a single conversation. While newspaper headlines often focus on the relationship between King Charles and Harry, Many royal observers argue that the King and William remain largely united when it comes to protecting the institution of the monarchy and preserving its long-term stability. This is why recent changes to the royal family's public presentation have attracted so much attention. Many commentators see them as reflecting the vision William has quietly championed for years. Rather than maintaining a large network of working royals with overlapping responsibilities, he has consistently supported the idea of a smaller, more focused monarchy. In this model, only a limited number of senior royals would carry out official duties, with clear roles, clear expectations, and strong accountability. The decision to reduce the prominence of Harry and Meghan on the royal website has therefore been viewed by many as fitting naturally within that broader strategy. To supporters of this approach, it is not simply a response to recent controversies, but part of a long-term plan to redefine what the modern monarchy should look like. Although William has not yet become king, many believe he is already influencing the direction of the institution. Through steady decisions, firm boundaries, and a clear vision of public service, he appears determined to shape the future of the crown long before it officially rests on his shoulders. When and why did Meghan and Harry leave the royal palace? Could it have been well planned for a while? Let's dig into the details of the unexpected exit of the Sussexes from royal duties. The royal exit nobody expected. In January 2020, the world watched in disbelief as Meghan Markle and Prince Harry made a decision that few people had imagined possible. In a carefully worded statement shared on Instagram, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex announced that they would no longer continue as senior working members of the British royal family. The news spread across the globe within minutes, leaving millions of royal followers, commentators, and even members of the royal household stunned. The couple explained that they wanted to build a different kind of future. Instead of carrying out royal duties full-time, they hoped to split their lives between the United Kingdom and North America. They also wanted to become financially independent while still supporting the crown more flexibly. Meghan and Harry described this vision as creating a progressive new role within the monarchy, one that would allow them greater freedom while preserving their connection to the royal family. The dramatic move soon became known around the world as Megxit, a nickname created by combining Meghan's name with the word exit. The label quickly dominated headlines and social media discussions. However, Prince Harry later criticized the term, arguing that it unfairly placed all the blame on Meghan and ignored the fact that the decision had been made together. He described the nickname as deeply unfair because it suggested Meghan alone had driven the couple away from royal life. Behind the palace walls, the announcement reportedly caught Buckingham Palace completely off guard. The late Queen quickly called an emergency family meeting at Sandringham House, now widely remembered as the Sandringham Summit. Senior members of the royal family gathered to discuss what Harry and Meghan's future relationship with the monarchy could look like. Harry and Meghan hoped they could continue representing the crown on selected occasions while also building independent careers. However, palace officials decided that such a half-in, half-out arrangement would not work. In the end, a different agreement was reached. The couple would stop serving as working royals, although they would keep their HRH titles without using them in any official capacity. They also agreed to become financially independent and repay the public money used to renovate Frogmore Cottage, which remained their official home in Britain. Over time, many reasons behind their departure became clearer. The couple spoke openly about the relentless pressure from Britain's tabloid newspapers, what they believed was unfair treatment of Meghan in the media, their desire for greater privacy, and what they saw as a lack of support from the royal institution. During their widely watched 2021 interview with Oprah Winfrey, they also revealed personal struggles with mental health and expressed disappointment that their concerns had not been addressed. After a year-long review, Buckingham Palace confirmed in February 2021 that Harry and Meghan would not return as working royals. The decision made their departure official, closing one chapter in royal history and opening another as they began building a completely new life in the United States. But how do the royal couple find life in their new location? Does it seem much better than what they had in the palace? Let's talk about the desperation in Montecito, when the money runs low. The cost of royal separation. The recent update to the royal family's official website has come at a particularly difficult time for Prince Harry and Meghan, adding to what many observers see as an increasingly challenging period for the couple. Once viewed as an unstoppable global brand after stepping away from royal duties, they are now facing growing questions about their future influence, business success, and public image. In recent years, several of their headline-making commercial ventures have reportedly lost momentum. Some of the major partnerships that once generated widespread excitement have slowed down or ended, while new opportunities appear less frequent than before. Their public speaking engagements, once expected to attract exceptional interest because of their royal backgrounds, are no longer generating the same level of attention. Reports have also suggested that some of their lifestyle products have struggled to achieve the commercial success many had anticipated, raising fresh concerns about the long-term strength of their brand. Royal commentator Tom Bauer added to the debate with a particularly blunt assessment of the couple's recent visit to the United Kingdom, describing it in just 2 words: desperation and failure. While opinions remain divided, his remarks have fueled further discussion about whether Harry and Meghan can successfully reshape their public image and regain the momentum they once enjoyed. Much of the couple's worldwide appeal has always been closely linked to their connection with the royal family. Their royal titles, history, and association with the monarchy gave them a unique identity that helped attract global attention, media coverage, and valuable business opportunities. That royal connection distinguished them from other public figures and became one of the strongest foundations of their personal brand. Many commentators believe that as those visible ties to the monarchy become weaker, Harry and Meghan risk blending into an already crowded world of celebrities, authors, podcast hosts, documentary makers, and lifestyle entrepreneurs. Without the constant association with the royal family, standing out becomes significantly more difficult, making every remaining royal connection increasingly valuable. This helps explain why their recent visit to Britain and their continuing links to the monarchy have attracted so much attention. Even symbolic connections can reinforce their public image and maintain the sense that they remain part of the royal story. For many observers, the changes made to the royal family's website represented more than a routine update. They were widely interpreted as another sign that the formal distance between the couple and the institution they left behind continues to grow, making any future return to a prominent royal role appear increasingly unlikely. Reports suggest that the development has been a source of frustration for Prince Harry, while Meghan has reportedly focused on managing the public reaction. Although their decision to pursue an independent life created new opportunities, it has also brought significant financial, professional, and reputational challenges that continue to shape their journey. So, who seems to feel the most heat of the royal struggle? Where do Archie and Lilibet appear in the middle of the battle? Let's take a look at how innocent children are caught in the middle of adult battles. The true victims behind royal feud. The most heartbreaking part of this entire story is not the disagreements between adults. It is the quiet impact those disagreements have had on 2 young children, Archie and Lilibet. While debates continue in newspapers and across social media, their childhood keeps moving forward. Every birthday, holiday, and family gathering that passes is another moment that can never truly be recreated. For nearly 4 years, the children have had very little opportunity to build close relationships with their relatives in Britain. They have not enjoyed the simple experiences that many grandchildren treasure, such as spending relaxed afternoons with their grandfather, hearing family stories, celebrating important occasions together, or creating memories that last a lifetime. They have also missed the chance to grow up alongside their cousins, forming the kind of natural friendships that often become lifelong bonds. Beyond family connections, they have had limited exposure to the traditions, history, and royal heritage that are also part of who they are. Childhood is a unique season, and once those early years are gone, they cannot simply be brought back. Now, there is growing discussion about the possibility of Harry and Meghan bringing Archie and Lilibet to Britain. To many observers, the idea is being presented as an emotional family reunion, a touching opportunity for grandparents and grandchildren to reconnect after years apart. On the surface, it sounds like the kind of story everyone hopes for, one filled with healing, forgiveness, and fresh beginnings. However, not everyone sees the situation in such a hopeful light. Some critics believe there is far more happening beneath the surface. They argue that the children's visit appears tied to ongoing disagreements surrounding security arrangements. From that perspective, the message seems to be that meaningful access to the grandchildren depends on certain conditions being met. Whether or not that interpretation is fair, it has become part of the wider public debate. For many people, this raises uncomfortable questions. Grandchildren are meant to bring happiness, comfort, and hope to a family, especially during difficult times. They should never appear to become part of negotiations or disputes between adults. At a time when the king is facing serious health challenges, some feel that adding emotional pressure to an already difficult situation would be deeply unfortunate. Meanwhile, reports suggest that the palace intends to approach any future family meetings with great care. Any reunion, if it happens, is expected to be carefully planned, limited in scope, and handled privately. According to reports, there is a strong desire within the royal household to avoid situations that could later become public controversies or media spectacles. There is also widespread belief that Prince William remains determined to protect both his family's privacy and the reputation of the monarchy. Those close to the institution are said to be focused on preventing further public conflict that could overshadow its work or create another cycle of headlines. Whether reconciliation eventually happens or not, many agree on one thing. Everyone involved hopes that the children's well-being remains the highest priority, above public relations, personal disagreements, or ongoing family tensions. But for how long will this feud continue? Can Charles and Harry ever make peace? Let's delve into the details of the unity between father and son, behind closed doors. The crown comes before family. The media has always loved a dramatic story, and nothing attracts attention quite like the idea of a father and son locked in a bitter power struggle. For years, headlines have painted a picture of King Charles as the gentle, emotional father who still hopes for reconciliation, while Prince William is often portrayed as the tough future king who refuses to forgive. It is a storyline that creates endless debate, but those who are familiar with the inner workings of the palace suggest the reality is far less dramatic and far more united. Behind the palace walls, King Charles and Prince William are believed to be far more in agreement than many people realize. Rather than pulling in different directions, they appear to share the same understanding of what has happened over the past several years. Reports suggest that both men have grown increasingly distant from Prince Harry, with claims that neither has been willing to engage with his repeated attempts to reconnect. Whether every report is accurate or not, the overall picture presented by royal insiders is that both father and son recognize the lasting damage caused by public interviews, television documentaries, and Harry's memoir. More importantly, they seem determined to prevent any further harm to the institution they have spent their entire lives preparing to serve. Prince William has already shown that he is willing to make difficult decisions when he believes they are necessary. He has reportedly supported firm action against members of the royal family whose behavior threatened the crown's reputation, including backing the removal of Prince Andrew's royal titles and responsibilities. At the same time, he has championed a slimmer, more focused monarchy that places duty above privilege and public service above personal status. King Charles, meanwhile, faces challenges of his own. While continuing his public duties during cancer treatment, he is also thinking about the legacy he will leave behind. More than ever, he appears to understand that the future of the monarchy will one day rest in William's hands. Rather than resisting his son's approach, many observers believe Charles has gradually embraced it. The recent changes made to the royal family's official website have been interpreted by many as the clearest public sign, yet that father and son are moving forward with the same vision and speaking with one voice. To many royal watchers, this is not about revenge, punishment, or settling old family scores. It is about drawing clear lines and protecting the institution above personal emotions. The late Queen Elizabeth II always maintained a simple principle when it came to royal duty. A person is either fully committed to serving the crown, or they are not. There is no comfortable middle ground where someone can step away from royal responsibilities while continuing to enjoy all the privileges that come with them. From this perspective, Prince Harry and Meghan made their choice when they stepped back from royal life. Having chosen a different path while also publicly criticizing the family, many believe they cannot reasonably expect to keep the same status, influence, or benefits they once enjoyed. If recent events are any indication, the palace now appears more determined than ever to enforce those boundaries consistently, sending a clear message that duty, responsibility, and loyalty remain at the heart of the monarchy. Does Harry stand a chance in the future of the monarchy? Can they ever be fully accepted back into the palace? Let's dig into the details of what the future holds for Harry and Meghan. What the future holds for Harry and Meghan. The upcoming UK visit will be a test. Harry wants to see his father. He wants to bring the children. He wants the royal connection that still gives their brand value. But the palace has drawn a line. Limited meetings, tight security rules, no special treatment that could be spun for publicity later. Harry faces a difficult reality. The freedom he once celebrated has brought new struggles. Money is tight. Public support has cooled. Old friends have distanced themselves. The man who left royal life for independence now looks increasingly isolated. Meghan's influence, once seen as empowering, is now described by critics as controlling. The coming months will show whether Harry can find a way back to some kind of private family relationship without turning it into public drama, or whether the patterns of ultimatums and media pressure will continue. The children deserve every chance to know both sides of their family. Time is precious, especially with Charles's health. Many hope Harry puts them first before more years slip away. The royal family continues its work with quiet steadiness. William prepares for his future role. Charles focuses on his duties and his remaining time. The institution survives, as it always has. But this chapter has shown something important. Even the most famous families have limits. Choices have consequences. And the palace, after years of patience, is finally starting to enforce them. The story is far from over. But one thing feels clear. The days of Harry and Meghan having it both ways are ending. The website change was only the beginning of a new chapter in this complicated royal saga. So, what do you think about Harry and Meghan's removal from the royal website? Do you really think their children won't be affected by this development? We'd love to hear your opinions in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe.